Rich Mill doesn't like my job, her big party made me cry, and she tried to buy my husband away. But I got her to wear my work clothes to the wedding of her golden child. I, 24F, really need help, so I'm writing this in the hopes that someone can assist me. My husband Andrew, 26M, and I have been married for 3 years. I'm a waitress at a diner in my neighborhood, and Andrew works at a restaurant. I wish I could say that our marriage has been great, but my Mill, Gloria, F50, is terrible for our dating and married years. Besides that, I am 19 weeks pregnant right now. So I'm really feeling sad right now, and Gloria's mean words and constant put-downs always make me cry. There was never a good time between Gloria and me. And she hates the fact that I work at a diner and only make minimum wage because she is very rich. She always says things like, I should make more money to help Andrew feel better. She says I'm making things hard for him. Andrew also works in a diner and makes a small amount of money there. No, we're not rich like her. We make it work, though. Gloria doesn't understand that she is making us both stressed out. For some reason, Gloria always brought in the most money for her family. She also raised Andrew and his little brother Michael, M25, by herself. It seems that Andrew's dad stopped being involved soon after they had the boys. Gloria divorced him and took him for all he was worth, and they haven't heard from him since. I think it was because Gloria was too self-centered for him to handle. Anyway, Gloria is so proud that she works hard and is a single mom, that, like she did, she thinks I should be giving more money to my small family. I can't stand how much she only cares about money and her image. Gloria always says nice things about my fiancée Deborah, F23, and how I'm like her perfect son Michael. It's easy to see why she thinks Michael is great. He's a really nice guy, even though he's a rich doctor. He's been my friend for a long time and is the one who put me in touch with Andrew. Gloria thinks that Deborah is great because she works as an intern to help kids who have cancer, while I just hand people their food without thinking. Deborah is also very pretty. She has long blonde hair, big blue eyes, and skin as soft as a baby's. While I have dark, short hair, dark eyes, and spots on my face. Deborah is what Gloria always calls her, the daughter she never had. I'm just the girl Andrew chose, though. Gloria believes that Michael and Deborah make the best couple. I should try to be more like them, says Gloria. Gloria said, Oh, while Deborah is saving children's lives, you will be busy messing up your child's life. When I told her I was pregnant. Who says that? Gloria always says mean things to me, even though I do everything I can to try to be like Deborah and please her. I even asked Andrew what Gloria's favorite flowers were so I could bring them to her as a treat for Mother's Day. But no matter what I do, she always finds something wrong with what I give her and makes me look like the worst person in the world. Okay, I just can't make Gloria happy. Gloria has hated me since the first day I started dating Andrew. It was clear that Gloria didn't like it when I told her I worked at a diner when we first started dating. On my next date with Andrew the following weekend, he told me that Gloria had set him up on a blind date with the daughter of her best friend right after we met. The other girl had a nice office job with benefits that paid well. We are definitely meant to be together, so I still can't believe she would try to pull that kind of stunt. But it's clear that she's only interested in money and power, and I don't live up to her high standards for her son and her family. Well, last night with Gloria was one of the worst nights I've ever had. I was embarrassed and crying, and I'm still mad about it today. Not long ago, Gloria started making plans for her big, fancy party to celebrate retiring early. She was able to do this by working 14-hour days, 7 days a week at a publishing house. The party, which was meant to show off her ability to retire more than 10 years early at age 50, was going to be very fancy. She only asked us to her party because Andrew was there when she asked Michael and Deborah to come. Don't get me wrong, she loves Andrew, but this woman does not like me at all. I think she invited me because she felt like she had to. When she invited us, she told Andrew exactly where the event would be held, when it would happen, and what we should wear. He was told we had to look fancy and rich instead of ordinary and homey, which annoyed me, but we got ready right. I put away a few weeks' pay and bought a fancy dress. Andrew, on the other hand, bought a nice suit and tie. We'd look the part for sure. We were sure we had everything planned out, but I was dreading the party. I didn't want to go. For one thing, I don't like being around other people. Second, Gloria scares me terribly, so why in the world would I want to go to a party where everyone is just talking about how great she thinks she is? The party was yesterday, and I had to work the day shift at the diner as usual. After work, I met Andrew at the place. I planned to do my hair and makeup before work my shift, and then change and get ready at work before going to the venue. There wasn't much time between my shift and the party, but I planned to make it work. I went to work like usual, but I put on nice makeup and made my hair a little better than usual. I got my dress and shoes from my car after work, and then went back to work to put them on. Even though I didn't want to go to the party, I thought it would be fun to dress up and try to have fun for once. There was a surprise when I took off the dress cover and pulled the dress up. It did not fit. I chose the dress a few weeks ago, but now that I'm 19 weeks pregnant, it doesn't fit me anymore. I felt scared and began to think of what I could do. There was nothing else to do. I didn't have another dress with me because my house was too far away to get one. There was no time at all for me to go buy another one. I was running out of time and didn't know what to do. I also have some pregnant brain. That's why I had to wear my work clothes to the party. My stupid black dress for a diner. I cried as I drove there because I knew what punishment I was about to get. As I cried, my makeup got all over my face, which made me look even worse. When I got to the place, Andrew and Michael were already there. When I told them what had happened, Michael laughed it off and seemed to understand, but Andrew was a little angry at first. Then he saw that my makeup was smudged from crying and became a little more understanding. He told me that everyone should be glad to have me there. Since he made me feel better, I sucked it up and went into the event with Andrew and Michael. As soon as I walked in, I felt bad about my choice. All of the other women were wearing ball dresses that were decorated with lace, crystals, and embroidery. It would have been hard to hide. Even with the dress I chose. People stared at me, pointed, and whispered to each other right away. I am sure I heard laughing, and I know it was meant for me. Which made me feel really bad. It was embarrassing for me to be in a little black dress with white trim. I just stood there. I mean, I knew it was bad, but right now it was really starting to hit me how bad it was. Gloria screamed over and pulled us into the venue's hallway, not even 5 minutes after we got there. She told me I looked worse than her maid, which she couldn't believe. In fact, she looks just like a maid. She told me that I was brave to show up dressed like that, and that all of her rich friends were shocked and asked why I was dressed that way. So much so that she said she heard one woman ask for help. It was her business to know where my ball gown was. I told her what happened and how it didn't make sense. She laughed and said, "Oh, you're such a joke, I forgot I had a name tag on," so she ripped it off and said, "Look at me, I'm Kate," which made me laugh. I'm so sorry. I'm so poor that I'm dressed like a maid at a fancy party. Why should anyone feel sorry for me? I work at a diner and make almost nothing an hour. Even though I can't pay for this baby, don't worry, my mother-in-law will save the day, as she always does. It made her very angry that she had the nerve to say such hurtful things to me, and it made me very angry that she was so embarrassed. After being called names like that, I started to cry quietly because I didn't know what to say. "What are you going to say about that?" Then she yelled at us to leave and ran back to her party before I could write a word. I left the party with my husband because I was disgusted with myself and her. She makes me feel like I'm not good enough for anyone. Not even Andrew. I hugged Andrew outside the building and kept crying. We finally went our separate ways and I kept crying as I drove home. I thought about what Gloria said to us at the venue, and I feel bad that I didn't speak up for myself. Everything about it felt like an attack, and I'm so hurt and confused now. She has never spent a dime on us or the baby I'm carrying, so I don't know what she means when she says she'll bail me out. I also have no plans to ever ask her for help. Today is the day after the party, and Gloria is sending us a lot of voicemails and texts telling us how rude we were at her party, mostly me. She told me I was embarrassing her, and that we were now the talk of the town. She said that people should be talking about how fancy her party was, and not how cheap the guests were. Of course, she also keeps saying that Michael and Debra look beautiful, and that they think I should not have shown up looking like I did. She also said that I might have been able to fit into my dress if I stopped picking at diner food. Being with my husband and looking forward to having my child are the only things that are making me feel normal right now. But even though my husband backs me up and says his mom is bad, he doesn't want to talk to her anytime soon, I'm afraid. Gloria will get him to leave me because I know she is very sneaky. I think I'm just being too emotional because I'm pregnant, but she always knows what to say to get him to lean against me. Also, I wish he would tell his mom how mean she is to me. I'm not sure what I want to achieve by publishing this. I guess all I want is help on how to deal with someone like this. I'm so stressed out about this that I can't stop thinking about the party night. The texts that Gloria sends all the time are also not helpful. Any help is welcome, and I really need it. Update 1, it's been a while since I wrote here, and I want to thank everyone for their help. Things have gotten a lot worse since I last wrote this, so I thought I'd let you know. I went to therapy soon after writing my post because I needed to talk to someone about how I felt and my husband wasn't getting. He tries to be there for her, but he is still loyal to his mom, and it hurts, even though I know it must be hard for him. She kept being mean to me, and it's nice to be able to talk to a doctor. Greg told Gloria that I was in therapy, and she laughed and told me I must be crazy if I was. Because of my therapy, I know that Gloria is harmful and hurtful to me. My doctor is trying to help me handle the stress that Gloria causes me. However, I have some sad but good news about that. Because Gloria has been making me stressed. I went into labor early and gave birth 6 weeks early. Everything is fine with me and the baby, but Andrew had to miss work for almost a month because the baby had to stay in the NICU. He had only planned to be off for a few days during the birth, so we were having a hard time paying our rent and buying baby formula. We were in a tough spot and had no one to turn to. Because of this, Andrew had to ask Gloria for cash. I didn't want to ask Gloria for money, but I need to feed my baby and make sure we have a place to live. I had no idea what else to do. The thing she said about always having to bail us out at the party that night stands out and goes through my mind all the time. I'm so sorry, but I had no choice. I was afraid to ask Andrew what Gloria said when she gave him the money because she was so scared. The last thing she said to me when she picked us up from the hospital a few days ago still makes me mad. You probably wouldn't have had that baby so early if you weren't living off of leftover food from the diner. What you said made my blood boil. Today I talked to my therapist, and she told me that the reason I went into labor early was probably because I'm under so much stress with Gloria. I'm really upset and stressed out by her. I want to stay focused on being a good mom to the baby and forget about Gloria now that she's here. Her health isn't great because she was born so early, which is very tough for Andrew and me. Our constant problems make it hard to ignore the thoughts that keep coming back about Gloria. I'm having a hard time because of her. She's the reason my child is sick. I'll try to let you know what's going on after I finish my therapy. If I can get better, I hope things will be better with Gloria. I no longer know what to do. Second update, she tried to break up my marriage. Hey everyone! It's been a while since I last wrote something. The past few months have been really hard. My treatment quickly turned into counseling for couples, which made my husband and I fight all the time about Gloria. Andrew finally told us what was going on in one of our meetings. I can promise you that Gloria will pay for what she did. So I should begin at the beginning. Soon after we brought our baby girl home from the hospital, Andrew stopped helping around the house and changing nappies. He also stopped talking to us. After I told my therapist about it, she said Andrew should come in so we could figure out what was going on. In our first meeting, Andrew wouldn't open up, so we didn't get anywhere. Andrew started to cry during our second meeting and tell us things about Gloria that he had been hiding from her for years. The first thing is that Gloria has always given Andrew money while we've been together. She even bought him the car he drives to work. Second, Gloria made Andrew an offer soon after the baby was born. She told him she would buy him a house and give him a lot of money if he left her and the kid and showed proof with divorce papers. She told him that things would get better and that she would help him find a new wife. Because we'd been having a hard time for a long time. He was crying, but he promised he wouldn't take the deal. He also said that he had been so detached lately because Gloria's offer put a lot of stress on him. She told us that Gloria is clearly trying to pit us against each other, and that she is very harmful. She also tried to get Gloria to join us for a lesson. Gloria said no, telling the therapist that she is not crazy and doesn't need therapy like I do. Andrew has been very helpful since the therapy session and is now helping me with the baby. Also, I think the stress was making us sick because Gloria caused us to have a baby early, and my baby is sick. We take her to the doctor a lot, and she has a food tube that costs a lot of money. Gloria has messed up my life and my baby's life sometimes. It's not fair for me, Andrew, or her. All of this, Gloria's telling me to have a baby early, and all the mean comments are too much for me to handle. Next month, Michael and Deborah are getting married, and I want that wedding to be the best ever. I'm going to make Gloria look bad, so she knows what's coming to her. I just hope I have the guts to follow through with my plan. Watch out. 3. I have both good and bad news for you. First, the good news. Michael and Deborah's wedding night was last week, and I had a pretty bad plan for Gloria to get back at her for everything she's done for me. Michael and Deborah both worked at the hospital, so their wedding budget was pretty high. Gloria, of course, matched that budget by getting a very expensive dress to wear to the wedding. That, by the way, cost more than my rent for a whole year. She kept talking about how cute her dress was, how unique this wedding was, and how much better it would be than mine and Andrew's. She is very good at making me feel bad. When we got to the wedding, everyone was dressed to the nines and looked stunning. The wedding setting was very fancy, and I hate to say it, but the ceremony was very well put together. Doves were released while Michael and Deborah kissed to seal the deal. Gloria was very happy to wear her dress, which looked just as expensive as she said it was, trying to get the attention away from Deborah. I don't really agree with Deborah, but I thought Gloria's attempt to get her attention was so rude. She also said I looked old in my dress, which was the same one I had planned to wear to her big party months before. I had just given birth, so that was hard for me to take. It was time to get even. At the reception, I pulled out my red wine and walked over to Gloria, as if I were going to start a chat. It looked like I tripped over my dress as I walked towards her, spilling dark red wine all over her lavender dress. She was furious. She told me I ruined her dress, and that I had to pay to have it fixed or buy a new one. She also said I did it on purpose, and that she couldn't go out that night in a dress covered with wine. I told her in a cool voice that I had brought an extra dress in case the baby had spit up on me, and it was in the car. I told her she could wear that dress because it was flowy and we were about the same size. Gloria agreed to wear the dress because she had no other choice and really wanted to go to the rest of the celebration. When we met, it was in the bathroom of the venue. The dress was my very own dinner dress. She made fun of my dress at her big party months ago, saying I looked worse than her maid. I didn't want to wear that. She said no. Gloria finally put on the dress after being persuaded for almost 30 minutes. She told them she was only wearing it because she had to go to the wedding and her dress was dirty. The party went on, and then it was time to speak. I took a picture of Gloria giving her speech while she was at the podium in my diner dress. I shared it on social media with the description, "Who asked for help?" During the whole reception, Gloria felt so embarrassed that she stopped trying to steal the show from Debra. In fact, Debra thanked me for letting her shine on her special night when she came over to me near the end of the night. Thanks to everyone who left a message of support. This is my last post. What should I do next? I'm not sure, but it's nice to have people finally agree with me about my crazy mill.